I major in valuation. So by way of introduction, that's that. And we have 10 hours for these lectures, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
4 hours today.
Yes, sir.
4 to 6. Then on the 2nd of November, we have 2 hours. Then on the 4th of November, we have 4 hours, right?
Yes, sir.
So I'm sure you have your study pack, isn't it?
It is.
Yes, sir.
Huh?
Yes, sir.
Yes, we
Yeah.
have it, sir.
You
We have
must
them,
have gone
sir.
through the lecture notes, isn't it?
Yes.
Not all
Very
of
well,
us.
sir.
Eh?
Not all of us, sir.
Not all of us.
Not all of you.
Mm.
So let's go through the note, isn't it?
It is, sir.
Yeah, let's go through the note. I am meant to instruct you. It's something we've taught you during your undergraduate days. So it's not strange. Isn't it? Is that strange to you?
No, sir.
Your course outline, is that strange to you? Is it strange to you?
No, sir, it's not.
It's
not that strange, sir.
Very good.
It's not strange.
We have like 7 topics there, right?
Yes, sir.
We have premium, virtual or sitting rent, and cost in use as a topic, right?
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes.
Then surrender and renewal of lease. Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Then we have valuation of varying
Yes, sir.
income, mortgage valuation, then contemporary valuation techniques, which covers equated yield analysis, rational valuation models, real value models, real value equated yield models. Then the last one is valuation of specialized properties. So I think today we are going to, if you look at the topics, 1, 2, 3, 4, they are leasehold valuation, right? Leasehold valuation of income yielding properties.
Yes, sir.
If you look at premium, virtual or sitting rent and cost in use, surrender and renewal of leases, valuation of varying incomes, they are all leasehold valuation. I wonder why the syllabus is like that, is skewed towards just leasehold valuation. But since that is what you have in the syllabus, we'll just limit ourselves to just leasehold valuation, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
I don't need to take you to freehold valuation of income yielding properties, since it's not there in your syllabus. I
Yes,
don't
sir.
need to take you through that.
Hello, sir.
So,
Hello, sir. Hello, sir.
yes?
Sir, please, if you see anything relevant to us in the examination, we may like to have it, sir. If you can assist us with it, sir.
Who is talking?
Abubakar Yusuf speaking, sir.
Okay, Abubakar Yusuf. You know you have limited time.
Yes, we do, sir.
Yes, even the examples they gave in the lecture pack, they are few, isn't it?
Yes, it is, sir.
Definitely,
And
sir.
I don't know if time permits, if I can give you other examples, fine. But
Okay.
if not, you limit yourself.
Okay,
We
sir.
assume that they'll be asking you from what is there, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Even the contemporary models, they only gave example of what equated yields analysis, real value models, nothing. They just demonstrated the formula there. There is no example. Real value equated yield model, no example, is just the formula there. So I assume you have limited time, and it will appear to me as though I'm taking a postgraduate class, because you're all graduate students, isn't it? By way of references, I'll refer you to few texts if you can read on your own. But if we have the luxury of time, we'll take few examples. Now, before we continue, I discover, let me tell you the truth, I did not arrange this lecture note, and I discover a few mistakes in the calculation. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
I discover few in the formula, like the YP for the YP dual rate for the leasehold. I discover in your study pack there's mistake, and I'll correct it for you. So are we there?
Yes, sir.
So and there's also a general assumption in the note, since all the syllabus covered is leasehold valuation, and it assumed the sinking fund at 2.5%. So all through your exercise in the study pack, you will see 2.5 is assumed, and is sometimes is not even stated in the questions. You've noticed that?
Yes, sir.
So I'm trying to pinpoint few issues so that you don't confuse yourself as we continue. And some of you that may have read through the note, you discover the sinking fund is not given in the question and is demonstrated in the calculation, isn't it?
Yes. Yes,
So
sir.
Yes, sir.
just make a general assumption that the sinking fund.
No, I don't think it's all of us that is really getting the exact place that where you are pointing at is.
No,
being
I'm
looked.
just making an introduction. We'll come there.
Oh, okay, sir. Okay, thanks.
Yeah, I'm just giving a background so that when we get there, you know that this is what I said, isn't it? So that is by way of, and the tax for the dual rate is assumed 40% throughout the calculations. You've noticed that, right?
40%.
Yes, sir.
So I just assume you read the note.
Yes, sir.
So I'm just to instruct you. Yeah?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So you don't expect me to teach you, right?
We are your children,
As
sir.
much as
You
possible,
do, sir. Please
No,
teach us.
I'm
Sir,
to
please
instruct
teach
you.
us, please.
Teach us, sir. Teach us. So
That's why
We
we are
don't even
here.
want you.
Please.
We don't even want you to
It's
lecture us. We
valuation,
want you
sir.
to teach us, sir.
Okay,
We need you to teach us.
okay, let's go through the note. Sorry, there's supposed to be a PowerPoint, the slide for the PowerPoint, but we brought ourselves together with the head of IT, and we discovered the note is bulky, a kind of bulky, and the calculations, it may confuse you if I break them into slides. So we said we should just go through the note, isn't it? And we go through the study pack together. So let me start by introducing what premium is. That is the first topic, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So basically, premium is a sum of money paid by tenant to landlord in consideration for reduction in rent. You are conversant with that one.
Yes, sir.
It's
Yes, sir.
a sum of money paid. If you like put it this way, lump sum of money paid before commencement of tenancy or lease, or during at the cost of a lease or tenancy, basically in consideration for reduction in rent. I can give you many examples with that. Most times you see people developing a property and it's yet to be completed. They will tell you, you give money, or some of you give out money with the understanding you occupy the property after completion, isn't it?
Yes,
That
sir.
sum of money you are giving is known as premium, and most times you give with the understanding that the lessor or the landlord will reduce rent, annual rent for you. Now, it might be in the course of the tenancy. It might be at the cost of your lease. Then the landlord requiring money for refurbishment or expansion of the property will take money from you, with the understanding that money will be factored into your rent subsequently. I think that one is very, very clear to us. Now, the advantage of this premium to a lessor or landlord is that he gets money today to enable him, reinvest in the property. And basically, time value of money counts a lot in valuation. Money today is better than money at hand today is better than money, tomorrow. Now, in consideration of this premium, the landlord will have enough funds to reinvest in the form of refurbishment or expansion or renovation, as the case may be. And that money paid by a tenant or lessee to the landlord is factored in the rent. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Are you with me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now,
We are
let's continue. IT.
Not to distract you, sir.
Yes. Now, IT, let's go. Can you go with the page up? Page up. Sorry, the button here, I don't know. Page up. Mr. Omer, are you with me? Okay, now, having said that, the amount of premium paid will be reflected in the rent, which the tenant or lessee pays subsequently. Now, there are in valuation we factor in this premium paid by a tenant. From the lessor's point of view, a receipt of premium has the advantage of securing an immediate capital sum. That's from the landlord's point of view, as I earlier said. Now, the capital invested by the lessee, depreciate as the term runs out. Therefore, previous provisions must be made for sinking fund. Hence, the valuation problem may take one of the two forms. One, what premium should be paid? Two, what reduction should be made in the rent? Now, it's not just enough for you to know that, okay, you need to give out money, but how much of this money do you need to give out? How much of this money do you need to give out? And if you give out this money, how is it going to influence, or what reduction do you have in the payment of your rent? Are you there? Now,
Yes, sir.
can we take the example so that you see these points I've mentioned, the 2 points, premium paid and a reduction in rent?
Yes, sir.
Now, IT, I don't know, can you take this? I want to show you a formula that I corrected. In your study pack, it's not like that. Now, you in the question, they said the first illustration you have there, here, I don't know if you just pick up your valuation study pack, it's reflected in page 2, right?
Yes, sir.
Now,
Page
okay,
101.
Mr. Babangida has been granted a 14-year lease of a shop having a net rack rent value of 3,000 per annum. He has agreed to pay 2,000 naira per annum, subject to the immediate payment of premium. Calculate the premium, assume a yield of 7% and tax liability of 40 kobo in a naira. Are you there with me?
Yes,
go up with the screen. Go up. Let me show you. Go up with the screen, Mr. Omeru. Go up with the screen. Go up, not down. Go up. No. I say go up. Oh, now. Okay, it's okay. Now, you've seen a question like that, and you are asked what premium should be paid, isn't it? What premium should be paid? Mm-hmm. If you look at the formula, I corrected it. If you look at your study pack, it's not like that, isn't it? Do you all have your study pack there?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So if you look at your study pack, now the rent reserve is 3,000 naira, and the rent paid is 2,000 naira, right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
And we have 1,000 as profit rent. You know how we arrive at that 1,000, isn't it?
Definitely, sir.
Rent reserve less rent paid, and you have a profit rent of 1,000 naira. Now, in your study pack, there's a formula for dual rate table, which we need to correct, isn't it? You said YP equals to 1 all over I plus sinking fund with tax element, isn't it?
It is.
Now,
yes, sir.
If you look at it, if you work it like that, you can't arrive at that answer. Am I right or correct?
Yes,
if you use that formula, you can't get that 5,852, isn't it? Are you with me?
Yeah, together, sir.
Now, I have to correct that formula. It's supposed to be YP dual rate equals to 1 all over I plus sinking fund provision for tax element. So, and I explain what that T is, and S is your sinking fund, isn't it? Which is I provision of sinking fund all over 1 plus I provision of sinking fund, close bracket, raised to power n minus 1. In that formula that was given your study pack, there is no minus 1. Have you noticed that?
Yes.
Okay, sir.
Yes.
So can you copy what I corrected in my own slide here? Look at the formula I have executed. Are you all with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Just put it this way, YP dual rate. I just signify my YP dual rate as
please,
YP.
can you come again, sir? I didn't get that.
Okay, let me come again. Let me explain. I said if you look at, before we go into the calculation, the formula given in your study pack, there's a little mistake, isn't it? Sinking fund is supposed to be 1 I all over 1 plus I close bracket raised to power n minus 1, but the minus 1 is missing. Are you with me?
N minus 1.
No. Can you look at the slide? Are you seeing my screen?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, the way they gave you,
Yes, sir.
the way they gave you, the sinking fund is supposed to be minus 1 after, you know, A now. A equals to what? 1 plus I raised to power n, isn't it?
Yes.
In sinking fund is supposed to be A minus 1, isn't it? That is
Yes, sir.
I all over 1 plus I close bracket. Look at it. Can you see where my this thing is? Can you see my formula here?
Sir.
I have corrected it in the note here. Can you see what is on the screen?
Yes, sir.
So copy what is on the screen. That is the the right screen. That is the right formula. What is given in your study pack, there's mistake. That -1 is missing. Are you with me? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
We
sir.
are
We are,
with
we are
you,
together, sir.
So look at the formula there. When you correct it, YP dual rate equals to 1 all over I accumulative rate plus open big bracket I with S beneath it, that is I, interest rate sinking fund, that is the sinking fund element, all over 1 plus I sinking fund. You've seen I sinking fund there, isn't it? Then you close the bracket, raised to power n minus 1, then close bracket. Then the t is the same thing as 1 all over 1 minus x. The x is the tax element, 14 naira in Kobo. Are you there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Please, let's go
Gotten it,
together.
sir.
Some are good, easily understand, and some are slow in understanding. Are you all with me, class?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so,
yeah,
sir, you can
explaining
go
what-
on.
You've seen the
Yes,
correction
sir.
I have made from the slide, from
Yes,
sir.
from the screen.
Yes, sir.
You're
You
correcting
corrected
X.
it, get the formula.
Yes.
So if you don't understand this formula, use your valuation table. You are allowed to go with valuation table into the exam hall, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So just go straight to your IP dual rate with tax adjustment at 40%, sinking from 2.5%. Are you with me?
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Okay, sir.
Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So I'm trying to
Yeah,
just
with you, sir.
explain the formula. If you go with the formula given in the study pack, it's misleading. There's a mistake. That -1 for the sinking fund element is not there. I corrected it here in my own slide, in my own lecture note. So I've corrected it here for you to see the correction. So the YP you have is what? 5.852, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So when you multiply that with your profit rent, we give you 5,852, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So that is the premium paid.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, I'm with
Hello,
you.
sir. I will suggest the admin of the chat should try and post the correct formula on the WhatsApp chat so that those that could not get it correct will get it correct from the WhatsApp chat, sir, so that we can make progress, sir.
Okay. Who is the admin? Is Sandra, right?
Sandra, yes. If she's there, let her try and post, or
Is
anybody
she
that
here
get
with
the
us?
formula, or any other person that get the formula correct,
I'm
to post
here.
it on the WhatsApp chat.
So you've noted the correction, isn't it?
Which one is
Yes,
the correction?
Hey,
Look at the correction
The-
here and the YP dual rate. I've
The
written, look at my
-1.
slide. You are seeing my note here.
Yes, sir.
Mhm. Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So look at it. YP dual rate, I put small dr equals to 1 all over I. This I is the what? Accumulative rate, and the IS, the sinking fund here, is the what? Remunerative rate, isn't it? So the I here with that S is 0.07 in the question. That is 7%, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
While the sinking fund, I told you earlier on, it has assumed that you will be using sinking fund of 2.5 throughout the calculation. So it's 0.2%, which is 0.025. Are you there? Are you there?
Yeah, with you, sir. You can continue, sir.
Sir, I
All
didn't
got
understand.
it?
Sorry, sir. This was not clear.
Yes, please.
I said the ORIX, the yield is 7%, and the sinking fund is 2.5%. But in the question, they are supposed to tell you the sinking fund is just assumed is 2.5. Don't confuse yourself. They are supposed to give you, if I'm the one to set your questions, I will tell you the sinking fund element is 2.5%, isn't it? Because somebody will assume 2.5, somebody may assume 3%, somebody may assume, are you understanding?
Yes, we are understanding you, sir.
So now the assumption is that the sinking fund has been provided at 2.5%. That is why you see 0.07, which is the yield, is given in the question, plus who is there? Yeah, who is Sandra, you are interfering with my hand. Good. Now look at it. 0.07 is the yield given. Look at the one all over. Look at the one all over 0.07 plus 0.025. That is the sinking fund. And when you compute it, look at the formula is straightforward. So the one over is there. The small over is there after the YP. Can you see it? So you will get that amount when you do it. So the YP you multiply by the profit rent, which everybody knows how to do that one. It's straightforward. So can we take the screen off? Do we? Are you there?
Yes, sir. Let's not.
I'm sure you are following.
Yes, sir.
Now, there are instances.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, I said, is it not better for them to provide this valuation table?
No, nobody will
Instead
provide
of
valuation. Nobody will provide valuation table. You come with your valuation table. Don't you have one?
I have the soft one in my phone, and the phone you won't do allowed.
No, you go with your hard copy. They won't allow you to go with fonts. You go with your calculator, but I prefer using the formulas, me.
It's a long process.
Eh?
They
The formula is a long
usually
process.
provide valuation tables. There will be valuation tables.
Okay. Since there will be
better.
valuation table, you are one step ahead.
That was better. Thank you.
So,
Thank you.
So I prefer we move on so that we can cover a lot.
All right. So now, go to. I said this is example of you paid rent, and the lessor is asking you, this is the premium you should pay, so that you get reduction in your payment of rent. There are instances you pay the premium and you calculate the reduction in rent. That is the next example we will see. Now, you go to the next question. Exercise. This explanation is what I have said. All this, alternatively, the premium may be agreed upon. So that is what we now will look at. After payment of premium, what rent do you reduction in rent do you have? Now, a lockup store is to be let on a 14-year full repairing and insurance lease, having a net rental value of 2,400 per annum. The tenants are agreed to pay a premium of 4,000. Can you see the premium now paid? Now, at the commencement of the lease, calculate the rent per annum to be paid. Assume a yield of 7% and tax liability of 40 kobo in a naira is envisaged. So now, the rent reserve is 2,400 per annum. Now, to have reduction in rent, you get the annual equivalent of the premium paid. Are you with me? Look at it. An annual, whenever you hear annual equivalent, is the sum of money you divide by the word appropriate YP for the period. Whenever you hear annual equivalent of your money, if it is 10 million naira, then you divide that 10 million naira with the appropriate YP for the period. So for us, now we will less the reduction in rent. And the reduction in rent will determine annual equivalent of the premium. And in the question, the premium is how much? 4,000 naira. So, and the appropriate YP is YP dual rate for 14 years, and sinking fund element 2.5%, tax at 40 kobo in a naira. So you divide the 4,000 naira, which is the premium, by this YP, which is 5.8 4,552. Are you there? Are you understanding?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So very good. When you have the annual equivalent, then you list the premium from the annual equivalent of rent, which is 2,400 less what? 684 naira.
684.
684, isn't it?
Yes.
Are you there?
Yes, sir.
Sir, please come
Are you
again.
there?
Sir, please come again, sir. Sorry.
Now, if you divide 4,000 by 5.852, what do you have?
684. 684.
That is
Jesus.
equivalent of the premium. So the rent is going to be 2,400. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Are you with me?
We're following, sir. We're following.
Yeah, the screen went off. So you all have your study pack. Now you know how we got the rent to be paid per annum, isn't it? Which is 1,716 naira. Hello?
We are with you, sir.
So you know how we arrive at 1,716 naira?
Yes, sir.
All right. So that is, by implication, if you pay a premium of 4,000 naira, instead of paying 2,400 naira for 14 years, you will be paying 1,716 naira. That is the advantage of paying premium. That is what the question is telling you. Are you understanding?
Yes, sir.
Are you understanding?
That is what the question is telling you.
No, sir.
So there is an echo.
No, sir. No, sir. We are not understanding.
Yeah, I'm having problem with the network here. Mr. Omerun, can you put the screen back?
It's back already. The screen is back.
Here, my own is not connecting. It's not linking.
Okay.
Yeah, it's blank, but don't worry. Since you are seeing the screen there, it's okay. So what I'm saying is that in this case, Chief, you paid 4,000 naira as premium. Because of the 4,000 premium you have, you determine the annual equivalent of that 4,000, which is 684. And we less it from the rent reserve, then we have reduction in rent of 1,716. So by implication in the question is saying, whenever you pay a premium of 4,000 naira for the next 14 years that you'll be occupying that lockups to, you'll be paying 1,716 naira. And the calculation is very clear there. I don't think it's confusing. It's very clear, isn't it?
Yes,
Do we continue? Do we proceed? Do we go to the next question?
Yes, sir.
We go to the next question, isn't it?
Yes,
so
sir.
now,
Yes, sir.
My screen is blank here because of the networks, but you have the study pack. I
Yes,
have
sir.
to resort to now. The next question, you take the screen up, Mr. Omeru, you take the screen up for them. Now, there are instances that the
Better.
Might at this list arrangement and the annual equivalent for having a net rack rent value per annum of 4,000 naira. Very good. The tenant has agreed to pay a premium of 6,000 in 5 years' time. Can you see the difference? Now there's a premium, but in future time. Are you understanding this question? It's the same thing, but the premium will be paid, after 6 years. Are you understanding? Now,
Yes,
calculate
sir.
the rent per annum he should pay, assuming a yield of 8% and a tax liability of 40 kobo in a naira. At the same time, you have a sinking fund of 2.5. Now, rent reserve is 4,000 naira. Less reduction in rent, which is what? Present cost of premium. That is, you have you look at you discount PV, present value of 6,000. It will be paid in 60 in 5 years at 2.5%. That is what is demonstrated here on the screen. Since this 6,000 naira is not paid today, it will be paid at some future date. That is in 5 years' time. So you discount this 6,000 naira to present value. And that is what you do. PV of 1 naira in 5 years at 2.5%. You have 0.884. And when you multiply it by 6,000, this is the premium that will be paid today, but it's paid in 6 years. That is the essence of discounting it to present value. Are we understanding? Are we together?
Yes, sir.
Right. That is, we discounted that. So, Ms. Omari, take the screen up and we continue. So the annual equivalent of this discounted premium, which will be paid. You see, we did not just get the annual equivalent of the premium, isn't it? The premium is 6,000 naira, but it will be paid in 5 years. We can't get the annual equivalent of that 6,000 naira. So we discounted that 6,000 naira to present, to present value. Are you getting what I'm saying? So now we're going to take the annual equivalent of this premium, which is discounted to be 5,304. So you divide it by appropriate YP 14 years at 8% and sinking fund 2.5% and tax adjusted to 40 kobo in a naira. So when you do that, you divide that one by 5. The YP is 5.528. So we'll get a rent reduction of, look at what we have, the annual equivalent of the premium is 960. You see, if I'm the one to ask you questions, I might not tell you to find the rent to be paid or rent reduction. In this same question, I can ask you 3 questions. Can you listen to me, all of you? Now, I can ask you to determine the annual equivalent of the premium. And the annual equivalent of the premium is not that 6,000. You have to discount that 6,000 to present value. That is why we multiplied by PV. So that 5,303 is the premium, present premium, because it's going to be paid in 6 years at 6,000. But for me, I have to discount 6,000 to present, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So my premium is not that 6,000 naira, but my premium is what? 5,303. And for me to get the annual equivalent of my premium, I divide it by appropriate YP. I told you, whenever you hear annual equivalent of a sum, just get the YP and you divide it by the YP, isn't it? That will give you the annual equivalent of that sum. So now, the annual equivalent of 5,300 is 96 960 naira.
Yes, sir.
Are we together?
Yes, sir.
So the rent reduction now is going to be what now? What is the rent reduction from the
Which
question?
page should I put?
I want someone
Date
to
on
answer,
this.
to respond, please.
The difference of 4,960.
Very good. So the rent reduction now, since a premium has been paid or is proposed to be paid, but is discounted to present value. Now, the rent reduction, because of that premium of proposed premium of 6,000 or premium of 5,304, then we have a rent reduction of 4,000 minus 960, which is what? A rent reduction of 3,014 naira.
14
Are you
naira.
understanding?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Who is confused, please?
Well, okay. It's okay.
I'm
Very
confused.
good.
I'm confused.
Very
Sir.
good. Very simple.
Man,
I don't
seven.
need to be very simple. All of you you
Please, I'm
understand it.
confused, sir.
Who is
My
confused?
seven.
Confused.
Please, I'm confused. I am confused.
Infinix, is it Suleiman Mohammed? Are you the one confused?
No, it's not me.
Infinix S5. I can't see your name. I only see Infinix S5.
No,
Aliyu Garba, sir.
Are you the one confused?
No, sir.
I'm the one that's
My
confused.
seven.
I'm the one that's
Name is
confused.
your name, Ibuka. Say your name.
Yes, Ebuka. My name.
Bashir is my name.
Ebuka is my name. I'm confused.
Bashir is confused, sir.
So how did we get 2.5%? It's not from the
Now,
The 2.5% is assumed. He has told us it's a sinking fund. It has been assumed all throughout.
What's
the
your
course.
name? But are you with me? Ebuka,
Hello, sir.
who is confused? Ebuka.
Esther,
Hello,
Okay,
how
sir.
Esther,
did you
tell
get
me, where are you confused?
0.884?
Eh?
How did you get 0.88 for the PV of 1 naira?
Where?
And how do we
The
get
PV of 1 naira, how did you get 0.884?
Okay, you go to your valuation table.
Okay.
Go to your valuation table. Do you have valuation table there with you?
No.
No, sir, it's not handy.
All right. When you check your valuation table, present value, or 1 all over A, just do 1 over all over A there, right? And there. Demonstrate it 1 all over A, isn't it?
Okay.
So that will give you 0 point, and N is 5 years. So when you do the PV, it will give you, when you get the right PV, it will give you 0.884. Are you there?
Okay.
So just find the PV, you will get 0.884. So do we continue?
Hello, sir.
Thank you,
Yes,
sir.
Regarding the 2.5%, the sinking fund that we use, I don't think it was assumed because after this page, they gave their reason for using the 2.5%. Maybe when it's just after this page on the study pack.
Yes.
Yes, sir, maybe.
So what is the reason?
Okay, let me read it out. Where a tenant has a liability to pay a premium at a known future date, it may provide for this by investing a capital sum or by an annual sinking fund. In either of the cases, the rate of interest for investment to provide the capital sum should be a low risk-free rate. That is, an accumulative rate of interest, some as low as 2.5% or 3% net.
You see, Esther, are you with me? Are you with me?
Yes, I'm listening, sir.
So listen very well. Sinking
Yes,
fund is provided between 2.5 to 3. Some people 3.5. You can't just make assumption.
Yes,
that is why we say it's assumed between 2.5 and 3. They should have given you in the question If you are
Okay,
allowed
sir.
like that, you make assumption. Somebody.
The network is bad.
Very bad.
Somebody may assume 2.5. That's why I stand in. Hello, Esther.
Sir, this is sir. Yes, sir. I can hear you, sir.
Very good. That is why I said where you read. That is the reason you assume a remunerative rate that is lower to recoup. That is the essence of sinking fund between 2.5 and 3. So, but is it given to you? Somebody may assume 3%. Somebody may assume 2.5. In fact, some people assume 2%. Are you understanding?
Yes, sir.
But the person preparing this note used 2.5. The person that is using 3% is still correct. Are you understanding?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That is why I said the calculation was done on the assumption that the sinking fund was 2.5. Are you understanding?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Very well, sir.
That is my explanation.
All right, sir.
So now, can we take the next example? Go up with my slide. Go up with my slide. Go up with my slide. Go up with my slide, please. Mr. Omeron, you are not with us. Now, the next example says, what is the annual equivalent of a capital sum of 5,000 expended on a property by Alhaji Diji? Next. Okay, sorry.
Next.
Okay, sorry. I think I've jumped that one. Okay, sorry. Mr. Omeron, can you go up with the slide?
Hello, sir.
Now, in your note, to continue the calculation, it says, for instance, considering the previous example where a tenant.
Page, sir? Which page?
Yes, sir.
My page might not be the same as yours. That's page 5.
Page
104.
104.
It's page 104.
Now, okay, look at after the calculation, after the 3,040 naira, which is rent to be paid per annum. Now it's giving you a scenario. Can you see a scenario there?
Yes, sir.
We are done with the calculation, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So let's look at the scenario. It's saying where a tenant has a liability to pay a premium at a non-future date, he may provide for this by investing a capital sum or by an annual sinking fund. In either of the case, the rate of interest for investment to provide the capital sum should be a low risk free rate, that is an accumulative rate of interest sum as low as 2.5 or 3%. In fact, some people assume 2%. That is what we finished discussing, isn't it?
Sir.
So some assume 3.5, some assume 2. So any figure you assume between 2.5 and 3 is still correct. We will still make you right. After all, you don't have to get the same answer.
Sir.
Yes.
But preferable supposed to be stated in the question. Either to use
if I'm the one to set your question, I will tell you the sinking fund.
Exactly, so that you won't be bringing some different answers.
Yes.
So it's not necessary to state the question options. Let it be so that somebody can have different answers.
Yeah.
Sir, please, the slide is not corresponding with the lecture. It's not corresponding with the class.
What? What is not corresponding?
The slide, sir, the slide.
Your screen.
No, look at it now. I'm trying to, I just explained. Mr. Omeri, can you take me up?
To what page, sir? What page, sir?
Yeah, take me to page 5 from my slide. Page 5. Take me page 5.
This is page 5, sir.
We're into visual rent.
No. Are you on page 5?
Yes, it's this page. You were reading from this page.
Okay, before virtual rent and cost in use, I'm trying to explain certain things. Now, if I'm the one to set your question, I will give you the sinking fund. But if you're not giving, you assume a sinking fund of 2.5 to 3 or 3.5. Are you getting what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So nobody will mark you wrong. That is that. So, for instance, considering the previous example where a tenant agreed to pay a premium of 6,000 in 5 years' time, this may be provided by investment of an initial capital sum or an annual sinking fund. Hence, one initial capital sum is our 6,000 multiplied by the appropriate PV for the period, which is 5,304. That is our initial capital sum. I explained this thing to you. I said, if I'm taking my premium, the premium paid now, today, Esther, Deji, Sandra, great father, the premium paid today is 5,304. But the premium paid in 6 years is what? 6,000.
6,000.
Why do we have 5,304? Can someone explain to me?
It's the present value of 1 naira that we are applying.
Good. Is the same 6,000 naira today that we will be paying in 6 years, isn't it?
Yes,
It is.
If we are to pay this amount in 5 years, we'll be paying 6,000. But since we are paying today, we are paying 5,000. We discounted that future 6,000 to today.
Yes, sir.
That is the essence of that. Are we understanding? Are we understanding?
Yes, sir.
So that is the initial capital sum is 6,000 multiplied by the PV, 5 years, 2.5%, which is 5,000. Now, annual sinking fund is going to be 6,000 times annual sinking fund provided, to provide for 1 naira in 5 years, 2.5%, which you still get the annual sinking fund, which will give you 1,140 naira. They are just trying to demonstrate few things. So in the question, the examiner here feels after you solve that premium, he might ask you what is the initial capital sum. The initial capital sum is just the annual equivalent of our what? Of present value of our 6,000 premium, initial premium. That is all. That is all you need to understand. While the annual sinking fund for the capital outlay, the premium paid in 5 years is sinking fund times the 6,000, which is the same thing. That is all. Simple explanation.
Thank you.
So do we proceed to virtual sitting rent?
No, wait though.
Who is not read me? Are you the one saying we should wait?
Yes, sir.
What is your name?
Charity.
Why am I saying something like read me? Is it read my read
That
me?
is the name of our device.
The name of the device. The name of my phone, sir.
So be putting
you
your
can
name.
remain change it now to your name. So that.
Okay.
Please be changing it to your name so that I know.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
No, just continue. Forget our. Just ask your question. Ask your question.
Okay.
Ali Garba.
Yes, sir.
You have a question?
No, sir.
Okay, Auntie.
Sir.
Yes.
Just, I'm trying to go through the solution.
Yes.
So we should wait for you to go through the solution.
No, I've gotten what I want. Continue, sir.
Okay, we are good to go, right?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So now we go to virtual or sitting rent. Virtual or sitting rent is the same thing.
All cost and use.
No. Cost in use is different.
Okay.
They are similar.
Yeah.
The note here, the person that compiled this note trying to match everything.
Okay.
But they are not the same. There's thin line of separation. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Now, virtual rent or sitting rent is the cost that a lessee, a tenant, incurs in paying rent and occupying a property. Let me put it in a layman's language. Right from inception of occupying a property, the rent you pay, and what makes it fit for you to occupy a property is what we call virtual rent or sitting rent. While, listen to me, can you hear me? While cost in use is a cost you incur in developing a property, right from inception to completion. So cost in use is capital intensive. Are you getting what I'm saying?
Sir, please, can you come again on virtual rent?
Pardon?
Can you come again on virtual or sitting rent, sir?
Virtual or sitting rent is the true cost of premise, annual cost. They are mostly annual. True annual cost of a premises or a structure you occupy during a lease. For example, when you pay rent and you fix the ceiling fan or the AC or the door handle or minor repairs, these are expenses on you as a tenant, isn't it? So the annual expenditure to put that property fit for your occupation, that is what we call virtual or sitting rent. Are you understanding?
Yes.
Now, while cost in use is capital intensive, just like the cost in use, it's broader than virtual rent or sitting rent. This involves costs right from development to completion to completing the property. You see, that one is capital intensive, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
That is cost in use. This is the thin line of separation. A tenant pays rent plus expenses to make the property fit for his occupation. So this is virtual rent, while cost in use is the cost of developing this property from structure or right from the scratch to completion, and is capital intensive. Once you use that word, this one is capital intensive. So everybody understands that, you know the difference. Are you with me? Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So that is simple explanation. Now, you read the note, it's self-explanatory. But in the note, the person tried to mix up cost in use and virtual rent. They are trying to mix it up. While sometimes there are elements of premium. These are leasehold valuation. Sometimes there are elements of premium in this virtual and sitting rent. Sometimes even in the cost in use, there's this element of premium. So you might have one question, you ask to calculate the premium, ask to calculate the rent reduction, the sitting rent, something like that. So, yeah, because premium is money. If somebody is building a property and he collects your money that you want to use the property in the end, it's still premium you paid, isn't it? So you can have the 3-in-1. Now, so let's look at the question. When you read the note, I'm just trying to tell you, don't confuse yourself. There's thin line of separation. When you read the note, you understand. But the person compiling the note is trying to mix the two. They are not the same thing. Are you getting what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Now, let's go to the question. Take my slide up, take my page up, page 6. Omero, take my page up, page 6. Take my page up.
Is your printer working?
Take my page up.
This is page 6, sir. This is 6.
I just want to print.
Let's go to the question. Okay, go up, go up. Take the page up. Let's go down. When I say up, you go. It means let's continue. Let's continue.
There's a question on this page 6 now.
And let's go up. Take it up. Take it up. Meaning
Which
go
page,
down.
sir?
Go down. I want to go down. I want to go down. Down the page. Down the page.
To page 7.
Yes, let me see your page 7 there.
This is 7.
The next question. What is the annual equivalent of a capital sum of 5,000 expended on property by Alhaji Deji, whose term has
That's page 6 now.
That is what I'm saying. I said page 6. You said that is page 6. I want to see the question up my screen. My screen.
The question is up.
Eh?
The question is up.
Bring it down now.
I'm not seeing here. Maybe my network. I'm not seeing it here.
Maybe it's a network, sir. The question is up, sir.
It's still on the previous page, still. So no problem. No problem. Since you are seeing it there, I'm okay. So I have the study pack here. So I'll read here.
Every time. Hurry.
So now, when we spend 1.5 hours, then we will pause and we have like 15 minutes, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
15 to 20 minutes. Then we take questions. They say we'll allow it for questions, isn't it?
I know they chat with me now. God, I know be okay.
Now,
see?
Are you there? You've seen the question there.
Yes.
Instruction from the people there. Please, they should mute so that we can hear the lecturers alone.
Yes, sir.
Please, the host should mute everybody. Please, the host should mute everybody so that.
So, what is the annual equivalent of a capital sum of 5,000 expended on a property by Alhaji Deji, whose term has still 30 years to run, assuming interest on capital at 7%? I told you how to get this annual equivalent, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
It's very simple. The annual equivalent, you divide that sum, you divide it by the appropriate YP for the period, isn't it?
Yes.
As simple as that. As simple as that. Then look at the formula there. You have to use YP dual rate with tax adjustment. And YP dual rate with tax adjustment is 1 all over I, big I, plus I sinking fund all over what? 1 plus I sinking fund close bracket N minus 1 into 1 all over 1 minus X, which is the tax.
Yeah.
So if you don't know how to use the formula, me, I'm flexible at using formula. So in fact, I don't
It's
like
a long process.
I will just write the formula before you open your, I will have calculated this. So when you have that, the YP 30 years at 7% and 2.5% tax at 40, you have 8.47, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So 5,000 divided by 8.47, that's the annual equivalent of that 5,000. So that is that. The rest of the note is self-explanatory. You can read it, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
There's no need reading through like we are reading reader in a classroom. So
Sir.
now the
Sir.
next thing is surrender
Hello,
and
sir.
renewal.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
But in this cost in use, there's no any example of it.
You want the example?
Cost in use one, yeah.
You want to take example?
Yes, sir.
So maybe next time I'll come with I'll give you an example. You go and solve.
Okay.
But what they are telling you, that is why we faulted some of this study pack. It limits you, and most times you see the questions, they are limited to what they ask in the study pack. So that form of learning, I think they are just giving you a straight jacket thing, and everybody writes and passes. But if you want a lot of example, I can give you. You understand?
No, at least one example in this course in use, at least.
That is why I said they are trying to reduce your work for you, but when you want it, now even if I have it, you can't see it, I can't display it. It means I have to do it and send to the head of IT, then he will display it for you guys.
Okay.
And I have a lot of it.
Okay.
I have it, that my system there, I have it. This is what I taught my 300 students. So you can have it there, but then yeah, it's good you have 1-2 examples, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So when you insist you want it, I'll try and get one for you, eh?
Maybe the next lecture.
Yes. So let's progress, make progress.
Thank you.
You can connect.
Now, surrender and renewal of leases. It's very interesting, that one. You went through it or not, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Is there?
Eh?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
In the note.
Very interesting, straightforward. So do you have anything confusing you there? Even the calculation is very interesting, isn't it?
Yes, sir. For me.
Eh?
Yes, sir.
Who is having difficulties in the calculation? Now, let me explain a few things. Then we go to the calculation. The theory, you will read it on your own. Isn't it? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Let's
together,
proceed.
sir.
Yes, sir. You can continue, sir.
Now, surrender and renewal of leases. This is a term used to describe a situation where a lessee or tenant in this case surrender part of his interest remaining or unexpired time. Let me use the word unexpired time to a lessor, which is the landlord, in consideration of taking up another longer lease. That is all. Now, let me cite this example to you. When Deji or Esther is occupying a lease, is in a lease of 15 years, and she spends 10 years, and she feels she doesn't want to lose that place after the expiration of her tenancy. She will talk to the landlord that, see you, I want to take another lease of 20 years. Can we dissolve this one? So there's calculation you will do, how you dissolve this one, how you pick another one. Isn't it?
Yes, sir.
That is surrender and renewal.
Renewal.
You surrender your interest, or you calculate the value of your interest for the 5 years. But frankly speaking, you hardly have a list like that in Nigeria. It's in the UK. Before 1960, 1945, you have longer lists. Highest they give you 2 years here, 3 years, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So nobody gives you a property for 15, 20 years. But we are demonstrating it because we borrowed this, our profession, from the UK. So they still do it. Now, when you have occupying a property for 15 years, and at the end of the 10th year, you still have 5 years. Then you value your interest for the remaining 5 years, and you pick up another lease. That is surrender and renew. You surrender your interest and you renew another interest in the property. So that is what is called surrender and renewal. That gives you a lot of advantage in some cases. Now you have to look at, you estimate the value of the parties' interest, that is the parties involved, the tenant and the landlord. Look at what you are surrendering and what you are picking. So you have to look at the interest of the two people. No two parties should suffer. The landlord should not suffer and the tenant should not suffer. So sometimes, most times, surrender and renewal is to the advantage of the tenant. So that is why we look at the losses and the gain from both sides. Then we'll try to balance the two. That is the essence of surrender and renewal valuation. So I haven't explained that one.
They don't get for the interview.
Mute yourself. Who is that?
Niesv, please mute yourself.
So do we go to the question?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Because most of these things, you read them, they are self-explanatory. Eh?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You just cram it and give it to the examiner, isn't it? Yes,
Yes,
no?
sir.
It's very funny.
If you advise us to, sir, we do that.
Look, Mon.
Sir.
What are you saying?
Advise us to do that, sir. We do that.
Some of these principles, they say valuer's role. I can't start reading this thing for you now. It's there, isn't it?
No, don't go to the question direct.
My problem is I make sure you understand the calculation. I explain things you don't. I'm an instructor, isn't it?
Yes.
Some of these things you just cram them. If they ask you principles involved in the calculation of surrender and renewal, you cram the 4 points there, you pour it and you go. Isn't it?
Yes, examiners will do the same.
You know what we do now? Abi?
I will do the same.
Yes. So now let's go to the calculation. Let's look at when you are doing that, you look at from the tenant point of view and the landlord's point of view. What is the tenant gaining? What is the landlord losing? So that is how we do it. Now,
Please, we should mute ourselves.
mute yourself. Now, IT, take me to page 10 in my note. Page 10. Page 10 of my note. Head of IT is still on the same page 5 since. Are you there? There is a question there. Page 10. Alaji Umaru. Are you there?
Yes, I'm with you, sir.
Yes. Okay. Take me to page 10 now. It's not going up.
We are on the question already.
Oh no, my own is not even moving.
We can see the question, sir.
I think it's my network here now. So Alaji Umaru holding a shop on a repairing lease. Alaji Umaru holding a shop on a repairing lease for 40 years, of which 6 years are unexpired. Desires to surrender his lease and to obtain a fresh lease for 40 years at the same rent. The rent reserve under the present lease is 10,000 per annum, which the RAG rent is 25,000 naira per annum. Calculate a reasonable premium that can be negotiated between both parties. Assume 8% and 2.5% with tax. You can see now in this question, they put your sinking fund, isn't it? They put your sinking fund there.
Yes, we can see, sir.
Yes, sir.
So that is how it should be. If it's not given, you assume. So now we look at the solution now. We'll look at from the lessee's point of view. That is tenant. Lessee is a tenant, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Lessee, eh?
Yes.
Lessor is the landlord, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Promisor is the one making the promise. Promisee is the one receiving the promise. Mortgagor is the person mortgaging his collateral security. Mortgagee is the one taking the security. So you will see all these terms as we proceed. Now, so from here, you look at proposed interest. You look at the proposed interest. And the question, they only wrote profit rent. But what is the FRV is 25,000, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
The full rental value is 25,000 in the question. The rent reserve is 10,000, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So that you correct
sir.
it. Is it there in your study pack? You see the 25,000 is missing. They only wrote profit rent. How did we arrive at the profit rent? I don't teach like that. I show students how I arrive at the profit rent. That is 25,000 less 10,000, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
You get
Yes,
your
sir.
Have you corrected that in your note?
Corrected, sir.
Corrected. Thank you. So we have a profit rate of 15,000 naira. Now, YP 40 years at 8% and 25% tax at 40. You see, because we are taking the first 40 years, we are using the ORIX yield at 8%. But when we are going to the list to the landlord, because he's the freeholder, we'll reduce the yield by 1% or 2%. When we get there, I will tell you what to do. Now, you have a YP of 40 years, 8% and 2% tax at 40, dual rate. You have 9.55, isn't it? Are you there?
Yes, sir.
So when you multiply 9.55 by 15,000, you have 143,250. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Is that clear?
Very clear, sir.
Yes, sir. You can continue, sir.
So the capital value is
143.
Yeah, that is for the proposed interest. Proposed 40 years that he wants to take. Now, going back to his remaining unexpired term of 6 years, isn't it? That is present interest. Profit rent is still the same thing, 15,000 naira, isn't it? That is 25 less 10,000. That is, yeah, that is 15,000 naira. So the YP now will be what? YP 6 years. You know why it's YP 6 years?
Unexpired term.
That is coming back to his present interest. You know, he wants to take, he wants to renew for 40 years. That is why we say proposed interest. That is the valuation of the proposed interest. We use 40 years. Now, because it's the present interest and he has 6 years on expect time, he spent 34 years from the first list. So we do YP 6 years. That is why we have YP 6 years. And you have 2.93 as the YP. When you multiply it by 15,000, you have what? 43,950. Is that correct? Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Now, the gain to the lessee, if he does that, surrenders 6 years and pick 40 years, is 143,250 less minus 43,950. You have 99,300. Is that correct? Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Eh?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you understood how we got that 99,300.
No, sir.
Eh?
No, sir.
Yes.
So it's understood.
Ali Ugarba, you said no.
Sir, we understood, but why we got that? What I don't understand, sir.
Why we got the 93,300 is present interest or proposed interest minus present interest. Valuation of proposed interest minus valuation of present interest. That is, we use the 40 years he wants to pick, less the 6 years unexpected time. We did the evaluation now. Present interest, we have 143,250. That is proposed interest. Present interest is 43,950. When you minus 43,950 from 143,250, you have 99,300. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Use your calculator there or your phone. Eh?
Clear, sir. It is clear.
It's correct, ba?
Yes, sir.
So that is how we got the proposed interest.
A question. Hello, sir. Is it network?
Less present interest. That will give you what? But let's go back to the land.
Hello, please. If anyone is not talking, can we just mute ourselves?
Can you hear me? Now my page is coming up. Good. Go up, Mr. Go up. Can you see it? Yes.
My question is, why didn't we find the present value of the proposed proposed interest? Oh, it has gone off the page.
Why what?
The one that is in the future. Why don't we find the present value of that capital value?
No. We don't. You can't find the present value. This is list arrangement. Are you get what I'm saying? It's that's something they failed to tell you. They are hypothetically done. We are not discounting any money now. There's no issue of transaction there. If it is a amount we want to bring it to future, we discount it. We use present value, isn't it?
Okay. Yes, sir.
Yes. This is a scenario. They want to pick a lease for 40 years. You understand, today, and they want to dissolve the 6 years. So that is why we did that. Okay.
I understand.
Now, go to the B. That is the landlord's point of view. Now, his present interest. Let's calculate his present interest.
Excuse me, please, sir, if I may suggest.
Yes.
People should off their mic because of their background noise.
All right.
Please mute everybody. So just know that we are following you so that we can flow very well with the lecture.
Yeah. I send it in your chat. Okay. Now, going to the landlord's evaluation now. His own, we look at the present interest, which is what? 6 years remaining. Are you understanding? So we first value the 6 years remaining. Now, the next rent reserve is the rent he's receiving is 10,000 naira. Now, YP6 is at 6%, due to more security. You see why? Can you all hear me? Esther, can you hear me?
We are with you, sir.
Yes, sir. We're with you.
Very good. I
Yes,
want
I'm
you to
hearing
understand
you.
this. You see, the freehold interest or the ORIC seal has been 8%. But why do we make it 6% in this case? If I'm the one making this one, I will not make it 6%, I will make it 7%. That is, this one is more secured because it's the landlord's interest. He's the freeholder. Are you getting what I'm saying? For security, regularity, and stability of it, he is making it less of the what? The freehold interest of 8%. So that is why in valuation you will see that one is 8, one is 6. But if I'm the one making this note, I'll make it 7%. Yeah. So now, but he's making it 6%. Now, and
Why
that
would
is
you make it
someone
I said, why would you make it 7%? I said, why would you make it 7%?
Yeah, it's the same principle he's adopting. The 2% is too wide between 8 and 6 is too wide. To make it more secure, you make it less it by 1%. Some people do it by 0.5%. But since that is what you have in the node, you go with it. Yes, you make it it's more secured 7%, but 6% is the gap is too. That is the principle to which they adopt. They told you earlier on. You have to, for the safety for this to secure the investment. You assume 2% to 3% to recoup that one for the lessor and lessee to recoup his capital. But this one, because there's safety, is now a freeholder. You can make it less by 1%, it's okay. But if you make it 2%, it's still okay. Now, the YP is there, and when you multiply, you have 49,200, and you reversion to FRV is 25,000. And when you do YP deferred 6 years, 7%, you have 9.52. This YP deferred 5%. When you do YP freehold at 6% and you do PV 6 years at 7%, it will give you the same thing. YP freehold multiplied by PV, it will give you the same thing as YP deferred. When we continue, you will see why. Now, you have 9.52, and when you multiply, you have 238,000. So you add 238,000 with 49,200, you will get 287,200. That is the capital value of the landlord. The landlord's interest, the capital value in that interest is 287,200. Now, proposed interest of the landlord. The next 40 years proposed is 10,000. Now, YP 40 years at 6%, 15.5. Then YP full FRV is 25%. Then YP deferred 40 years at 7%. You can see now he's making it at 7%. Hello, can you hear me? Great father, mute yourself. Great father.
Yeah.
So, are you following? Now, you see, somebody was asking, okay, I now see the reason why he's making it 6%. Because this one is in the future, he's making it 7%. It's more secured, but that one is more secured because it's what he has at hand. That is why he's making it 6%. I think that is a simple reason. It's still okay. This one, this 40 years is in the future. That is why there's still insecurity in that one, even though he's the freeholder. But that one, look at it, the first present interest, he used 6%, and the proposed interest, he used 7%. So that is that. So the capital value is 174,310. Hence, the loss to the lessor is 112,890. But for the premium, you have to look at the tenant's gain and the landlord's loss. Are we together? Because the loss is too much on the part of the landlord, as a valuer, you say no. So what do? You look at the gain from the side of the tenant and the loss from the side of the landlord. So gain plus the loss, you take the average. Premium payable is 106. So when you see 106, at least he is losing just few amount, not as much as that one. Are we together?
So we're not together.
Okay, is that
still on the same page? The right need to scroll up.
Take it
Scroll. Okay.
Redmi 9A, you are talking. I'm listening.
It's fine now, sir. Where is me before?
It's on mute.
Okay. So you are following, right? So
Yes,
we are
sir.
done with that one. Is there any confusion or any contribution? Ahmed Yerima.
You please,
Ahmed Yerima.
remind us the formula for the number.
Ahmed Yerima.
Hello,
sir.
I am done with that calculation. Is there any question?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
In some question like that, or in order to make it easy, there's percentage given by the lessee and the same percentage given by the lessor, so that it won't be in kind of the same. But if you see in this question, we are using the same 6% in lessee, then the same 6% in lessor's term. So it's supposed to be like
that is no. Where did you see? No, we didn't use 6% for
the lessor.
Let's see. Lessor. Should I explain to you why we use 6 and 7%?
Okay, sorry, I got it. I get it now. Sorry.
You got it?
Yes, I get it now.
No, that is.
I get it now. Thank you.
Hello, sir. Can you hear me, sir?
So, do we continue? Ajirola. I can't hear you, Ajirola. Unmute yourself. Unmute yourself. Unmute yourself, Ajirola.
Hello.
Yes.
Okay. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now, sir?
The line is breaking. Can you send chat? Can you type your chat?
Okay.
Hello, sir.
Yes, who is there?
How do we please remind us of the formula?
Enoch. Okay, great father. Let me hear you. Great father.
He's left. He's not the one.
So who is asking question?
Hello?
Hello, sir.
Yeah. Hello, hello.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
That person is asking for the formula for YP deferred.
Who is asking for YP deferred?
The person that just, yeah.
Hmm?
One over AI.
All over AI. But I am not supposed to be giving you this formula. You have it now. If you have it, all right. You are all graduate students. 1 all over YP defined is 1 all over AI. Enoch James had written that for you. 1 all over AI. So do we take questions, then take break and come back around 2:15? Hello?
After 4.
This is to 4, sir.
How many
minutes? Questions.
I have a question.
After 4,
questions on the chat medium, please.
Okay.
My people does not give me the honor, does not give me the respect, does not give me the love. But we would have mentioned that would have messed opening the new painting, but when we born to the London, would they want to the London? Yes. I'm telling you the fact that
Hello, please. Are we going on break?
Yeah, hello, can you hear
There's a 20 minutes break.
Can we take 20 minutes break and come back?
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, 4 hours. We are ending this
Break and
lecture.
come back.